Today for our Form Friday, we're going to be talking about hamstring flexibility. All right, so I am not a huge fan of stretching. If you have followed me for any period of time, you have probably heard me say that a zillion times. I am a much bigger fan of teaching a muscle that it is safe to let go and lengthen. Now, whether we're going to do that through developing more eccentric control, so lengthening control, or if we're going to do that by maybe working opposing muscles to bring more stability around a joint. I just find there's so many ways to go about inflexibility that have better lasting results. Now, that's not to say that I hate stretching completely. I think there are some benefits to stretching, especially with looking at parasympathetic nervous system and muscles that have truly shortened. But even then, I really like to attack them through eccentric loading anyway, and working on lengthening that way instead of just passive stretching. All right, but we're going to use a passive stretch this morning to do a test to see hamstring length. So what I want you to do is give me a pre-test, and you can just bend down and see kind of how far your hamstrings want to go. Knees slightly unlocked but not bent and not hyper extended back for this. Come back up if you want to make sure that your results are holding. You can go ahead and retest again. Sometimes when we go down for testing, it'll just improve a little bit, the more you do it. So I don't want repetition to get in the way. So do a couple of them if that makes you feel better. Then we're going to activate hamstrings. So you can activate hamstrings a couple ways. If you would like something a little bit more on the challenging side, I want you to think about lifting your hips up by pulling your heels toward your bottom. So can you see how I'm pulling forward this way? So you're going to pull your heels forward toward your bottom using the back of your legs. So I want you to give me 5 to 10 of these pulling forward. If you're like, oh, I really don't even feel this is so easy, then just go to one leg and do it with one leg. So we're really using those hamstrings. Bottom is kind of tucking under, pulling under as you pull forward, so that this hamstring really has to work a lot. If you're like, oh, that's a little too hard, I don't feel like I can hold myself up, then you can just simply come down and do a hamstring bridge. Put your feet a little further out, pull with those hamstrings, tucking your tailbone under and feeling those hamstrings work. And you can just hold that. You can do little presses here if you want, but just hold that for generally like a count of 5 to 10, just like you did the other one. Okay, then hop back up. Okay, we've worked those hamstrings a little bit. You should hop up and be like, oh, yeah, I feel my hamstrings. They got a little work. And then I want you to bend forward and try your toe test again and see, okay, did I gain a few extra inches? What did that look like? Am I able to just come down now and put my hands on the floor? So give that a little bit of a retest and see if your before and after for activating your hamstrings gains you more ground than just simply doing a hamstring stretch. Okay, so I want you to think about muscle activation that way. Is sometimes we can gain more length by making the muscle show up a little bit more, or feel safe or get stronger than we can by just passively stretching it.